So after watching this video, you're going to know exactly how you can scale your coaching business just by niching down. This has been the thing that has shifted my business in one of the best ways possible. Many people tell you that you need to be niching down, but they don't actually tell you how to do it with logic. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to tell you how to do.
So first of all, I just want to get into the problems this video actually solves. It's going to charge your undercharging and low prices problem. It's going to solve a bit about content and your position and how you're positioning yourself within your content. And that obviously leads on to the next one, which is like ineffective marketing, which is again content and especially with your outreach as well. So niching down affects these three areas massively. And this video is actually for mainly coaches, online fitness coaches, who are already posting some sort of content, whether that be short form YouTube videos, for example, anything. And the ones that are just saying and are commoditized, they're saying that they help busy people lose weight. They just take on any type of client for the money, and they're just stuck charging low prices. And if you're stuck charging low prices, you're going to be in this generic messaging cycle. You're going to be stuck charging low prices, which means you're going to have a low commitment clients because your prices are that low. People aren't going to take what you offer and your coaching seriously because, again, your prices are so low. Which means if your prices are that low, you're going to get low committed clients. Even though your prices are still low, you're still going to get price objections on every single call, which means it's just going to lead you to be burnt out doing extra work for less reward. You're going to be doing more work but earning less money because you don't know how to actually niche down to make more money without doing any extra work. And this was the exact cycle that I was going through before I actually niched down. I was speaking to every single person within my content, within my messaging, and everything that I was doing was just commoditized, which means it was just common. Everyone saw it everywhere, which meant the only thing that I could actually compete on was the price. And after I niched down, my content actually resonated with people, which meant I was able to charge a higher price because my offer became a lot more premium because I was targeting a smaller amount of people, which meant my price actually became a natural filter, and it filtered out all of the people that wasn't able to actually invest in what I had to offer. So I was able to increase my price with quality, and I want to show you exactly how you can do this as well for your coaching business. But right now, I just want to quickly go over what most coaching businesses look like at the moment. And at the top of the kind of funnel is just your broad targeting, which is exactly what I was doing. I was just targeting every single person. I was targeting a commodity person, which, for example, like a busy person, and my niches was just very, very generic. People saw it all the time, so that meant there was no differentiation between my targeting, which meant my messaging and my content and that kind of things. My marketing was all just generic, which meant content just sounds like every single other coach on the market. Prospects scroll past because they don't feel personally spoken to, and there's just no emotional connection when it comes to your messaging and your content, which either leads to no clients or just a commodity offer. And this means your programming is exactly the same as other people's, and the only difference within your offers actually becomes your price, meaning that the only way you can actually be different in a crowded market is actually lowering your price, because that's the only way you can be different. And that's the only way you're going to get clients, by lowering your price, because all the offers that are in the market are just the same, and you do not want to be doing that at all. Which means if you're obviously lowering your prices, back to the cycle, if you're lowering your prices, you're going to get low commitment clients, and that's exactly what this shows here. Low committed clients. And then obviously when you get low committed clients, as I said, people that actually invest into your coaching somehow aren't going to take it seriously. They're not going to get the results that they wanted, which means you're just going to be stressed. You're going to have low confidence within your offer, and then you're just going to start questioning things like, is my coaching even good? Why am I not growing? Why am I not getting the results that I wanted? And it's just going to lead you in a burnt out plateau that you don't want to be in. So what you need to be doing is you need to be targeting a narrow person. You need to be speaking specifically to a specific person and solving a specific problem, because then you can actually charge a premium price, because then your offer is just going to be viewed as more premium because you're charging a smaller amount of people, but you can then just increase your price because the offer becomes a lot better because you're targeting and helping a certain amount of people rather than targeting everyone. Because when you're targeting everyone, you can't speak to everyone. You don't know their exact problems, which means they don't really resonate with you on a deeper level. And how you can exactly target a narrow audience is by niching down. And step one of niching down is choosing a qualified niche. You need to choose someone that actually is in depth and you understand the struggles of. So you don't want to be targeting people that just want to get in shape, anyone that wants to just lose weight, people just trying to tone up, or people that just want results. This is going to lead to you sounding like every other coach on the market. And again, like I was saying, the only way you can actually get clients is competing on price, which means you're going to have to lower your prices and you're just going to attract, again, more low committed clients. And this leads back to the broad, obviously, the broad market, the broad niche that you're targeting. You don't want to be doing that because you're targeting a broad amount of people, which is going to lead to you sounding like every other coach. And then the only thing you can compete on is the actual price. So to actually find a niche that is good and would work, is you need to choose an avatar that you actually understand deeply. You must be able to say that you understand their struggles because you've actually been there, not just a random person that you think might have a lot of money. So, for example, I know a lot of coaches that um, target business owners and CEOs just because they obviously own a business and will have decent money. You don't want to be doing that if you don't actually understand their problems and you don't actually resonate with those types of people, because one, you're not really going to enjoy coaching them. You want to enjoy the person you're coaching with, and you're going to do that by actually coaching someone that you've kind of got a bit of experience within. So you need to be asking yourself these two main questions to kind of find the niche that you want to be working in to make sure your offer is as good as possible. And the first one is, do I understand this person's daily life and their pain? Like I was saying, you need to understand the things that they're going through daily, to understand them so you can talk about those things within your content. You can speak about their daily life and the things that they're going through daily to make sure you're actually attracting the right types of people. And the second one is, do they have the money and urgency to actually invest in what you have to offer? You don't want to be targeting people from, like, for example, India, because obviously in India that they don't earn as much money as people do in the UK or America, for example. So they're not going to be able to kind of afford your coaching unless obviously you're a coach who lives in India. So some examples of an avatar that you understand deeply are, if you were like a 9 to 5 worker or something like that, you could coach busy professionals who want results without losing social life, because as a 9 to 5 worker, obviously you're going to be working every single day, but you also want to enjoy the weekends and your social life as well. Um, let's say you're a woman coach or something like that, and you might understand that in the past, when you were in your first starting with your fitness journey, you might have gone through a few problems, like you can't kind of stick to it. So another one is a good one, which is women who've tried every single diet and feel done with starting over. And then if you have experience in pregnancy or something like that, so again, this is mainly for women coaches, new mums who want to feel strong again without stress. And these should genuinely feel like you know exactly how this person thinks. So you want to be coaching someone that you've actually experienced. And then that leads me on to step two, which is identity pain. You need to understand the underlying problems and the real problems that your avatar and your ideal client actually go through, because then you can use these underlying problems, the smaller problems, to speak about within your messaging and your content. Because for example, people don't just want to lose weight; they want what weight loss actually means to them. They might not feel like themselves no more. They might avoid mirrors and photos. They don't want to be seen, and they're scared to try again and fail. Which this is a perfect one, because if they're scared to try again and fail, then they need someone to help them stay accountable, and that's going to be you as a coach. And these things, you can use these as the pains and the struggles and the things that you speak to within your content, because when you speak to everyone, or a broad niche, as I was saying, you can't speak about the real underlying problems that people go through, because generic coaches talk about macros, fitness tips and generic problems, but premium coaches, what separates premium coaches from generic coaches is speaking about identity and specific problems. And obviously when you're speaking about those specific problems, you're going to become the go-to coach within that industry, which means the amount of authority and trust you build is going to be unmatchable, which means you're going to get a lot more new clients. And then that leads me on to step three, which is a specific transformation. So now that you understand it's not about targeting everyone, it's actually about speaking to a specific person with a specific problem. So you need to create a specific transformation as well. This is the thing that makes your offer premium, because you're selling on the transformation. You're selling on the outcome, sorry, not the work that you do. Because again, as I was saying, the more work you do, the more price you can charge. But we don't want to be doing that. We want to be kind of sticking to the same amount of work you're doing, but also increasing your pricing, which means you're literally doing no extra work to increase your price. I'm going to do that again by obviously niching down, which is what this whole video is about. So this is kind of what you need to be doing. This is a little template if you want to use and obviously use yourself. For example, you could say something like, I help ex athletes rebuild their athletic identity without training 6 days a week. This is a perfect one because you're targeting a specific person who have a specific problem, and that's the same with these other two here. I don't really need to go read them out. Obviously, you can read yourself. But when the transformation is specific, when the person and the people that are actually viewing your content or your marketing know what you do, your price is actually justified. So just from this, you can make your pricing because you've already niched down here. You know exactly who you're targeting. So obviously, again, you can increase your price a little bit just by doing that and just by identifying a specific person. And this is just a little additional thing as well. This can actually help you create a bio for your page, because as soon as someone sees your page, they need to understand three main things, and that's who you help, what you do, and how they can actually take the next step with you. And this is a perfect example of that. So who you help, she helps busy ambitious women. What she does, she helps busy ambitious women drop 10 kg and feel beach body confident. And how they can take the next step with her is ready to drop a dress size and then an application form. This is what your bio needs to exactly look like, because people understand who you help, what you do, and they know how they can actually work with you and take the next step with you. And then that leads me on to step 4, which is the actual content itself to help you target those people and to help you actually get the right type of clients. So I kind of want to go over generic content and what's actually bad. So just posting fitness tips like how to do this bicep exercise, for example, motivational quotes, and random content that you haven't really strategized kind of. These are just going to result in people scrolling past your page, your content. There's going to be zero emotional pull. No one's going to be emotionally connected with your content because you're not speaking to a specific person. So that means you're just going to look like every single other coach on the market. So the high impact content that is actually good, you need to be speaking about the specific problems of your ICP. You need to go through their specific little problems, the underlying problems that we went through earlier, so that they can relate to your content. And you need to be solving their specific problems to build trust as well. So you need to speak about these things, for example. For example, identity loss. Identity loss. You don't feel like yourself anymore, and it bothers you every single morning. That's a very good one. You might hide in pictures because you don't like what you see. That's emotional pain. You've started again so many times and you don't trust yourself. That's frustration cycle, which again, this is another perfect one, because if they're starting so many times and they don't trust themselves, then the only person that they can trust is a coach to help them stay accountable. And another one is that you want to feel proud in clothes again, not uncomfortable, which is an identity upgrade. These things, obviously, these are just a few examples, but these things are going to help you take your content to the next level. These examples, because if you're speaking about these specific problems within your content every single time you post, it's just going to change your content. You're actually going to be attracting the right type of people, and this is exactly where your price increases, because you're not just solving a fitness task or a fitness tip, or you're not just giving general fitness advice. You're actually solving a life problem with your content now, because you're solving the specific problem of that specific person. Then that leads me on to step 5. This is quite simple, but this is just about pricing. So at the top of your content, at the top of your content funnel, obviously the people that are going to be seeing your content are a wider variety of people. That could be anyone. It might not be your ideal client, because you're not always going to be targeting your ideal client. But what's going to happen is people are going to understand that who you. But what's going to happen is people are going to understand who you actually coach. So that kind of filters out the low quality clients and filters out the people you don't want to work with. So only the right clients actually resonate and follow you and actually keep going back to your page. And then the people that actually convert and become a client, price acts as a filter, not a barrier. So you're only going to get higher paying clients only as long as your price isn't something too crazy. You know what I mean? It needs to be something realistic, but not as low as it is right now, for example. So this is kind of the pricing funnel. So it goes from, as I said, the larger audience sees your content. The lower quality clients are filtered out because they know exactly who you're speaking to, because it's actually clear within your content now that you understand who your ICP is. So only the right clients come through, and then your price acts as a filter, not a barrier, so that results in higher paying clients only. So when your niche is generic, your message is generic, and when your message is generic, your price must be low, because the only thing you can obviously compete on is price. The only thing that you can do to change your offer is lowering your price. But when your niche is actually tied to identity, problems, and struggles, and the outcome, not demographics, your message actually hits a lot deeper, because your transformation is actually clearer, and your price becomes logical instead of questionable, because you're selling people on the transformation, not the things that you actually deliver, not the things about your offer. You need to be selling people on the transformation that they're going to get from investing into you, and that's exactly how you move from chasing low quality clients to actually attracting committed ones who pay premium prices because the transformation actually matters to them. So if you feel like this has helped you out, this video has helped you out, if you want a bit more information, or even if you want to work with me and you want to implement something like this to help you kind of again increase your prices, create a premium offer, and package your expertise into a premium offer, um, go to the link in the description to my Instagram, drop me a DM, and I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you, help you out a little bit, and just see if it would be a right fit to kind of work together. Obviously, like I said, I'd be more than happy to help you out as well for free or anything like that. I'm not really bothered about directing you onto a high pressure sales call or anything like that. I'm not one of those guys. I like to make sure I'm actually understanding the problems of who I'm messaging and genuinely help them out and lead with value. So, again, link in the description to my Instagram, and that's it for this video. Thank you so much.